My sister stood in her marble-floored living room, surrounded by designer decorations and guests in expensive clothes, holding the baby I'd carried for 9 months, and said with a radiant smile, "We're so grateful to everyone who helped make our dream of parenthood come true. It wasn't an easy journey, but we never gave up." Her husband, Trevor, squeezed her shoulder. Amanda's strength through this process was incredible. She's an amazing mother. I stood in the corner, near the kitchen, still carrying the extra weight from pregnancy, wearing the same Target dress I'd worn to my retail job that morning. Nobody acknowledged me. Nobody mentioned that the journey they'd been through involved me being pregnant while Amanda got weekly spa treatments and avoided stretch marks. "Who's that?" I heard Trevor's mother, Constance, whisper to someone. "That's Amanda's sister, the one who helped." The way she said helped made it sound like I'd babysat once or twice, not spent 9 months growing a human being inside my body. "Oh, she looks tired." "Well, she works at Target or something. Not everyone can maintain themselves properly." I looked down at my body, the body that had stretched and changed and sacrificed to give them the perfect child they were showing off, the body they were now criticizing for not bouncing back fast enough. What they didn't know was that the surrogacy contract Amanda and I had signed wasn't just about the pregnancy. It included a clause giving me $50,000 annually until Lily turned 18. It included first right of custody if anything happened to them or if they were deemed unfit parents. And it included my name on every legal document, as someone was standing to intervene in Lily's welfare. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me, have you ever given someone the most precious gift imaginable, only to be treated like you were disposable? Have you ever sacrificed your body while they took credit for the outcome? And when you finally had the power to make them see what they'd taken for granted, did you use it or did you walk away? People say surrogacy is a beautiful gift. In my family, it was an expectation. Amanda called me 2 years ago, her voice bright with excitement. "I have the most amazing idea. You could be our surrogate." I was 28. She was 35. We'd never been particularly close. 7 years apart, different interests, different lives. She'd married rich, lived in a mansion, belonged to country clubs. I worked retail, lived in a small apartment, struggled with student loans. "What?" "Trevor and I want a baby, but I can't risk pregnancy. My career, my body, everything I've worked for. But you could do it. You're young and healthy, and we'd pay for everything." "Amanda, that's a huge ask." "We'd pay you, obviously, and it would mean so much to the family. Mom and Dad would be so proud. You'd be giving us the greatest gift." The greatest gift. Not, "Would you consider this incredibly difficult and personal decision?" Just, "You'd be giving us what we want, and you should feel honored." "I need to think about it." "Of course. But don't think too long. My doctor says timing is important, and we're not getting any younger." She wasn't getting any younger. I was apparently just the right age to risk my health for her convenience. I should have said no. But my parents called the next day. Amanda told us the wonderful news. "I haven't decided." "Of course you'll do it, Mom. She's your sister. This is what family does." "It's a huge commitment." "Amanda's offering to pay you. That's more than generous. Think about what this could mean for your relationship with her, for your place in the family." My place in the family. The poor sister who could finally contribute something valuable? I met with Amanda and Trevor the next week. They'd already drawn up a contract. "Our lawyer put this together," Trevor said, sliding the document across their granite kitchen island. "It's all standard." I read it. $50,000 for the pregnancy, plus all medical expenses, maternity clothes, time off work. It seemed generous until I did the math. 9 months of pregnancy, potential complications, recovery time, permanent body changes. $50,000 was less than I'd make working those 9 months, and I wouldn't have permanent physical consequences from retail. But there were other clauses. Annual payments of $50,000 until the child turned 18, $900,000 total, legal standing as an interested party in the child's welfare, First right of custody if anything happened to Amanda and Trevor, or if they were deemed unfit parents. Why these clauses? I asked. Protection, their lawyer said. The annual payments ensure long-term relationship between the child and biological aunt. The custody clauses are standard for surrogacy contracts involving family members. Just legal protection for everyone involved. Amanda, you're okay with this? Of course. We're going to be perfect parents. Those clauses will never matter. It's just paperwork. I signed it. 3 weeks later, I was pregnant with my sister's baby. The pregnancy was hard. Morning sickness that lasted all day, exhaustion that made working retail torture, back pain, swollen feet, all of it. Amanda came to one doctor's appointment. "This is so exciting," she said, looking at the ultrasound. "I can't wait to meet her." Then she went home to her comfortable life, while I went back to standing on my feet for 8-hour shifts, trying not to throw up on customers. "You're glowing," my coworkers would say. Thanks. I wasn't glowing. I was surviving. Trevor's family was involved from the beginning. Constance had opinions about everything. Make sure you're eating organic. Are you exercising? You don't want to gain too much weight. You should be getting more rest. The baby needs a calm environment. She'd say all this while looking at me like I was an incubator she'd rented, not a person. I gave birth on a Tuesday in March. 36 hours of labor, emergency C-section, complications that meant I'd never carry another child. I woke up in recovery to find Amanda holding Lily, Trevor taking photos, both of them glowing with joy. "She's perfect," Amanda whispered. "Thank you so much." Then they left with my baby, their baby, and I stayed in the hospital alone. Recovery was brutal. The C-section scar hurt for months. My body didn't bounce back. I'd gained 45 pounds, lost my muscle tone, and developed permanent stretch marks. I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't recognize what I saw. Amanda posted hundreds of photos. Her in designer nursing clothes, even though she wasn't nursing. Lily in expensive outfits. Their journey to parenthood documented like a lifestyle blog. I wasn't in any of the photos. The first annual payment came through 3 months after Lily was born. $50,000 as promised. It helped. I paid off debt, bought a car that didn't break down every week, and started saving. But every time I saw Amanda's posts, her perfect life with the baby I'd carried, the money felt like payment for my silence and invisibility. I visited once a month at first. Amanda would let me hold Lily for a few minutes, then take her back. "I don't want her confused about who her mother is," she'd say. Lily's first birthday party was at their mansion. 200 guests, a custom cake, a petting zoo in the backyard. I arrived in my Target dress, the nice one I'd bought specifically for this, but still obviously cheap compared to what everyone else was wearing. "Sarah!" Amanda hugged me briefly. "So glad you could make it. Lily's going to love seeing her aunt." Aunt. Not the woman who carried her, not the person whose body changed forever to bring her into the world, just aunt. Trevor's family was there in force. Constance held court near the dessert table, wearing what looked like a $5,000 suit. Trevor's sister, Victoria, circulated with her own perfectly dressed children. Amanda, so brave, going through the surrogacy process, so much uncertainty, while I'd been the one actually pregnant. "And who's that?" Constance's voice carried across the yard. I looked over to see her pointing at me. "That's Amanda's sister, the surrogate." "Oh." Constance's expression shifted. "She looks like she's really let herself go." Well, pregnancy is hard on some bodies. They both looked at me with something like pity mixed with superiority. Hard on some bodies. Like I'd failed at pregnancy instead of succeeding at growing a human being. I found Amanda near the cake. "Can I hold Lily?" "Oh, she's about to go down for her nap. Maybe later?" Later never came. I left the party early, drove home to my small apartment, and cried. The next day, I got the call. "Miss Chen, this is Jennifer Rodriguez from Child Protective Services. I'm calling about Lily Montgomery. We've received some reports of concern, and I see that you're listed as having legal standing in custody matters. Is this correct? My heart stopped. Yes, I was her surrogate. What kind of concerns? I can't discuss details over the phone, but we'd like to meet with you. Would you be available this week? We met 3 days later at a coffee shop. Jennifer was professional, but kind. She laid out the situation carefully. There had been multiple reports. Neighbors who heard Lily crying for extended periods, a pediatrician concerned about missed appointments and weight gain issues, a nanny who'd quit after 2 weeks, citing Amanda's treatment of the baby. What kind of treatment? I asked, my stomach churning. The nanny reported that Mrs. Montgomery seemed more concerned with maintaining her lifestyle than caring for the infant, that the baby was often left alone for long periods, that Mrs. Montgomery became angry when the baby's needs interfered with her plans. No, this couldn't be right. Amanda loves Lily. She wanted her so badly. Wanting a child and being able to care for one are different things. Jennifer pulled out the file. You carried this child. You have legal standing. We need to know. Have you observed anything concerning during your visits? I thought about it. Really thought about. Every visit. Amanda holding Lily like a prop for photos, then handing her to the nanny. Amanda getting frustrated when Lily cried. Amanda more concerned with the aesthetics of motherhood than the actual work of it. I haven't been allowed to visit very much, I admitted. She says she doesn't want Lily confused about who her mother is. How often do you visit? Once a month for a few hours, always supervised. Jennifer wrote that down. And the surrogacy contract includes annual payments and custody provisions. Yes, $50,000 a year until Lily's 18, and I have first right of custody if anything happens to them or if they're deemed unfit. That's an unusual contract. Their lawyer insisted, said it was standard. It's not standard. It's actually very protective of your rights. She looked at me directly. Miss Chen, we're going to be investigating this case. It's possible Lily may need to be removed from the home temporarily. If that happens, you're the first person we'd call. Would you be willing to take custody? I couldn't breathe. Take custody? Temporarily, while we investigate and determine the best permanent placement. Lily, my baby, the child I'd carried for 9 months, felt kick and move and hiccup. The child I'd given birth to and then watched from a distance while my sister played perfect mother on Instagram. Yes, I said, I'd take her. Even knowing it might become permanent, especially knowing that. Jennifer nodded. We'll be in touch. The investigation moved quickly. CPS visited the house unannounced, found Lily in a dirty diaper, unfed, alone in her crib at 2 p.m. while Amanda was at a spa appointment and Trevor was at work. The nanny had quit 2 weeks earlier, and they hadn't replaced her. They'd just been leaving Lily alone for hours at a time. More neighbors came forward, more stories of neglect. The pediatrician testified about missed appointments. CPS removed Lily from the home on a Friday afternoon. They called me at work. Can you take her now? Yes, I'm on my way. I picked up Lily from the CPS office. She was 11 months old, small for her age, with my eyes and my sister's nose. She looked at me with recognition. I was familiar, even if I'd been kept at a distance. Hi, baby girl. I've got you now. She reached for me. The first night was chaos. I had no crib, no baby supplies, nothing ready. I drove to Target still in my work uniform and bought everything I needed with the credit card that still had room because I'd been saving my annual payments. Crib, clothes, diapers, formula, toys. I set everything up in my tiny apartment's second bedroom, barely bigger than a closet, but it was hers.
Lily cried for an hour, then exhausted herself and fell asleep in my arms. I sat in the rocking chair I'd assembled and looked at this baby. My baby. My sister's baby. Just a baby who needed someone to care about her more than they cared about Instagram photos and maintaining their lifestyle. Amanda called at midnight. "What the hell did you do?" "I didn't do anything. CPS called me because you left your daughter alone for hours while you got your nails done." "That's not. We had a nanny who quit 2 weeks ago and you didn't replace her. You just left Lily alone." "This is temporary. They said temporary placement. You give her back." "I'm not giving her back until CPS says it's safe. Until I know you're actually going to take care of her. You can't do this. She's my daughter. She's the daughter I carried for 9 months while you worried about stretch marks. The daughter I gave birth to and you took home like a shopping bag. The daughter you neglected the second she became inconvenient. I didn't neglect her. You left her alone. You missed doctor's appointments. You cared more about your lifestyle than her health." I was yelling now, months of frustration pouring out. "You treated me like an incubator and her like an accessory, and your lucky CPS called me instead of putting her with strangers." Silence on the line. "I want her back." "Then prove you deserve her back. Go to the parenting classes, do the counseling, show CPS you can actually be a mother instead of just playing one on social media." I hung up. Trevor called an hour later, more composed than Amanda, but just as angry. "Our lawyer says you can't keep her. Your lawyer should read the contract he drew up. I have first right of custody in situations exactly like this. This isn't what that clause was meant for." "Then maybe you should have been better parents. Maybe you should have hired a nanny when the last one quit instead of leaving an infant alone for hours. Maybe you should have cared more about Lily than you cared about maintaining your perfect life. This is ridiculous. Amanda loves Lily. Amanda loves the idea of being a mother. There's a difference. You're going to regret this." "Maybe, but Lily won't. That's what matters." I hung up. The custody battle started immediately. Amanda and Trevor filed motions, claimed I was unstable, unfit, trying to steal their child. Their lawyers painted me as a jealous surrogate who'd never let go, who'd manipulated CPS into removing Lily. My lawyer, paid for with the annual payments they'd been making me, pulled out the contract, the investigation reports, the pediatrician's testimony, the nanny's statement, the neighbor's reports. Your clients signed a contract giving Ms. Chen significant parental rights. They did so voluntarily, with their own attorney present. They cannot now claim she has no standing simply because they don't like the outcome of their own neglect. The judge ordered a full investigation, parenting evaluations for both me and Amanda, home visits, interviews with everyone involved. I took time off work, spent my days caring for Lily, learning her schedule, figuring out her preferences. She liked to be held while she fell asleep. She laughed at silly faces. She was lactose intolerant, which explained the weight gain issues. Amanda had been feeding her regular formula, despite the pediatrician's recommendations. I switched her to soy formula. She immediately started gaining weight properly. The home visit with me went well. "It's small," she noted, looking at my one-bedroom apartment where I was sleeping on the couch so Lily could have the bedroom, "but it's clean, safe, and clearly set up with the child's needs as priority."
The home visit with Amanda didn't go as well. Mrs. Montgomery became defensive when asked about the period when Lily was left unsupervised, the report noted. She blamed the nanny situation and her husband's work schedule rather than taking responsibility. The home is immaculate, but shows little evidence of active childcare. No toys in common areas, no high chair visible. Nursery appears more decorative than functional. 3 months later, The judge issued a ruling. Lily would remain with me temporarily while Amanda and Trevor completed parenting classes, therapy, and supervised visits. If they completed everything satisfactorily, custody would be revisited. Amanda called me crying. "I can't believe you're doing this to me." "I'm not doing this to you. I'm doing this for Lily. She's my daughter." Then be her mother. Actually be her mother. Not the Instagram version. The real version, who gets up at 3 a.m. and changes diapers and puts her needs first. I do put her first. You left her alone. You missed doctor's appointments. You fed her formula she was allergic to because you didn't bother to follow medical advice. I was overwhelmed. Then you should have asked for help. Real help, not just hired help you could fire when they annoyed you. Silence. Then, quietly, I thought I could do this. Having a baby or being a mother? Both. Trevor wanted a child. His family expected it. And I thought I could have a baby without it changing my life. That's not how it works. I know that now. More silence. Can I see her? The judge said supervised visits. I'll bring her by this weekend. The visits were awkward. Amanda would hold Lily carefully, like she might break. Lily would reach for me, and Amanda's face would crumple. She doesn't even know me, Amanda whispered once. She will, if you put in the work. 6 months passed. Amanda and Trevor completed their classes, went to therapy, had regular supervised visits that gradually became unsupervised. The change in Amanda was visible. She looked tired, less polished, more real. It's harder than I thought, she admitted during one visit, being an actual mother instead of just looking like one. Yes, you knew that from the beginning. I carried her for 9 months. I felt every kick, every hiccup, every moment of discomfort. She was real to me from day one. She was never an idea or an accessory. Amanda looked at me with something like understanding. I'm sorry for how I treated you, for acting like your sacrifice didn't matter, for treating you like an incubator instead of a person. It was the first time she'd apologized for anything. Thank you. Are you going to give her back? I looked at Lily, playing with blocks on my apartment floor. Healthy now, happy, thriving. That's up to the judge, and up to you proving you can be what she needs. And if I can prove it, then you'll be her mother, and I'll be her aunt, like it was supposed to be. But you love her. I do. That's why I'll do what's best for her, not what's best for me. The final custody hearing happened on Lily's 2nd birthday. The judge reviewed everything. The parenting classes, the therapy notes, the visit reports, the home evaluations. Amanda and Trevor had done everything asked of them. They'd proven they'd changed. They'd proven they understood what went wrong. This is a difficult case, the judge said. Miss Chen has provided excellent care, and the child is thriving in her custody. However, the goal of family reunification has been met. Mr. and Mrs. Montgomery have completed all requirements and demonstrated sustained improvement in their parenting capacity. I knew what was coming. Custody is returned to the parents, with Miss Chen maintaining significant visitation rights as outlined in the surrogacy contract. The annual payments will continue as agreed. Miss Chen will have weekly overnight visits and legal standing to intervene if concerns arise again. I'd won and lost at the same time. That night, I packed Lily's things. Amanda came to pick her up, and I held my baby one more time. I'll see you this weekend. I love you, always. Lily patted my face. Mama! My heart broke. Your mama is here, but I'm your aunt, and I'll always be here too. I handed her to Amanda, who was crying. Take care of her. I will. I promise. They left.
My apartment was suddenly quiet, empty. I sat in the rocking chair and let myself cry. But it wasn't over. The contract ensured I'd see Lily every week. The payments continued, $50,000 a year, every year. And the legal standing meant I could always intervene if things went wrong again. Amanda kept her promise. The visits happened. She sent me photos and updates, included me in birthday parties and holidays, not as the forgotten surrogate, but as Aunt Sarah, who saved Lily when she needed saving. 2 years later, Amanda called me. She said, "I'm pregnant." What? Naturally! Surprise! The doctors said it was unlikely, but here we are. Congratulations. I'm terrified. Why? Because now I know what it actually takes, and I'm afraid I'll fail again. You won't. You've learned. You've changed. Have I changed enough? You're asking that question? That means yes. Her second child was born healthy. I visited in the hospital. Amanda looked exhausted and real and happy in a way she'd never looked with Lily. She said, "Thank you." For what? For saving my daughter when I couldn't, for forcing me to become the mother she deserved, for not giving up on us. I didn't do it for you. I did it for her. I know. That's why it worked. I held my new niece and looked at Lily, now 4 years old, playing with toys in the hospital room. She ran to me for a hug, then ran to Amanda. She knew who her mother was, but she also knew I'd always be there. If you've ever sacrificed your body for someone who treated you like you were disposable, I see you. If you've ever been erased from a story you literally gave birth to, I understand. Tell me, when did you realize that giving someone everything doesn't mean they'll value what you gave? And when you finally had the power to make them see what they'd taken for granted, did you use it wisely or did you use it vengefully? The surrogate they forgot became the person who saved their child. Not because I wanted to punish them, not because I wanted to keep Lily for myself, but because someone had to put that little girl first. And for a while, I was the only one who could. Amanda learned. Trevor learned. They became the parents Lily deserved. And I became the aunt with legal standing, annual payments, and the knowledge that I'd done the right thing even when it was the hardest thing. The contract that seemed like just paperwork turned out to be my power. The clauses their lawyer included just for protection became the tools that protected the most vulnerable person in this story. They'd signed it casually, never expecting it to matter. I'd signed it carefully, hoping it never would. But when it did matter, when Lily needed someone with the legal right to intervene, I was there. Not because I wanted their money or their child, but because I'd carried her for 9 months, loved her from the moment I felt her move, and refused to let her become collateral damage in their perfect life. These days, Lily is 6. She knows I'm her biological aunt. She knows I carried her before she was born. She knows I love her. And she knows I'll always be there. The $50,000 comes every year. I've saved most of it for Lily's future. When she turns 18, she'll get an account with over $1 million in it. The money her parents paid me for carrying her, invested and grown, waiting for her. They don't know that's what I've been doing with it. But they will. Someday, when Willie asks about her birth story, about surrogacy, about family and sacrifice and what it all means, I'll tell her the truth. That her parents wanted her so badly, they asked me to carry her. That I loved her enough to say yes. That they struggled, but learned to be what she needed. And that sometimes the greatest gift isn't giving someone what they want, it's making sure what they wanted is protected even from them. Honestly, I'd do it all again. The pregnancy, the sacrifice, the custody battle, all of it. Because Lily is here. Lily is safe, Lily is loved, and I'm not the forgotten surrogate anymore. I'm Aunt Sarah, the one who was there when it mattered most.